Okay, think about it. High heels, couture dresses, beautiful people strolling around Toronto. Fashion Week kicks off tomorrow, and there's lots to see, with some big designers showing off their spring 2014 line. So Nathu is here with more. So beyond the fact that yellow is clearly so hot
clearly
right now,
yeah.
we got the memo. But what are we looking at this year?
Well, you know what? More than 30,000 people are expected to pass through the main venue for Toronto's Fashion Week during that full week, which is right across the street from our building here. And keep in mind, this is spring 2014 lines. We'll be seeing Fashion World's always looking far ahead to the next season. And Canadian collections will be front and center. So we'll be seeing designers like Pink Tartan, Soya and Keo, Macaj, David Dixon, Joe Fresh, just to name a few. And it's going to be a busy week because there are some new additions this year as well. One of them is there will be a set of commissioned films that will be shown in an official this year Disconnect Fashion Film Festival. So these are shorts that are done by fashion photographers, which will be kind of interesting to see because they're pushed out of their regular workplace and they're doing something a little bit different with video. And also the public will be able to take a closer look at some of these lines with Fashion Saturday, which happens next Saturday. So this is a way to try to get more of the public involved because so many of these fashion shows are often so exclusive, right? But this will be sort of a collection of the highlights from different collections throughout the week that people will get to see. And then there'll also be some pieces, some Canadian designers that will have pieces available for sale. So maybe people can get a head start on spring buying already.
Right. Okay, so Joe Fresh has been in the spotlight, but not so much for its fashion as its connection to the tragic factory collapse in Bangladesh. So I have to think people will be watching Joe Fresh and interested in seeing what kind of message is conveyed.
Yeah, and I think so too, and that's something we're going to be watching very closely. Since the collapse of Rana Plaza in Bangladesh, more than 1,000 dead. The spotlight was on Joe Fresh, Loblaws, among other companies. What we can tell you is that 90 companies, and that includes familiar brand names like H&M as well as Joe Fresh, have signed on to this legally binding document that will do a couple of things. First of all, they're supposed to publish a list of the factories that they are involved with in Bangladesh, but also conduct regular inspections of these places, and they're pledging to improve the working conditions in those factories. I should mention Joe Fresh is actually the only Canadian company that has signed on to that document, but it's an interesting piece of news that I think will play out in some way during Fashion Week. It's just we're going to be keeping an eye out to see how it does, and it'll be interesting to see if they comment on it at all.
For sure. We'll stay tuned. Thanks, Aleka.
You're welcome.